Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm back again with the MatchDay Two preview, and I'm here with Rose. How are you, Rose?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Where can they follow you? Of course, you're an Everton fan. You must be buzzing.
Yeah, definitely. Really good start.
Where can they find you on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube?
So my at is at Everton Rose YT, and on YouTube, if you just search Everton Rose, I'll come up as well.
Awesome. Of course, just before I go on, we've heard that Aubameyang has signed a new contract. Man, I'm so happy. Of course, Rose would agree that he's one of the best strikers in England right now. So it's a big confidence booster for us. If you're trying to win anything, if you're trying to get into the top four, this guy is very crucial to that. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy with that. Rose, do you think that's a good signing or good confidence booster for us?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, in like recent history, Arsenal kind of have a habit of letting your best players go, letting your captains go. So I think this time to keep Aubameyang, it gets said a lot, but it literally is like a new signing. Like, where else are you going to get somebody who'll just get you 20, 25 goals a season? And so, yeah, I think like it's a massive boost for you guys, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, good point you brought up about us selling our captains, Fabregas, Van Persie, even the likes of Gallas, some mediocre captains. It has always been terrible for us, but this is very good for us. So back to match week one, the first week of this Premier League season. Of course, Tottenham lost, which is very good for us. Tottenham lost to Everton. What did you think about that match? How happy were you? Did you expect a win, first of
Um,
all?
I was happy with the result, of course, but it was the performance. It was, from minute one, I thought we can get at these. Like they looked poor. I don't want to talk about Tottenham too much because Everton was so much better, but they looked poor. They looked like out of ideas. But at the end of the day, yeah, the result, the clean sheet, and the new signings as well. Yeah, it's hard not to be excited right now as an Everton fan, but just want to follow it up with a win on Saturday, and then we'll see.
Yeah, which of the new signings impressed you most?
Uh, James, obviously, because of just his vision, but actually for me, Decore made so many last ditch tackles. There was the one on Harry Kane that was the main one where he would have been through on goal. And yeah, his energy. Probably Decore is the one that gets talked about the least because he's from Watford. But yeah, such a good signing, I think.
Yeah, is there any other position you guys need to strengthen before the end of the transfer window?
I think on the wing, I'm looking for like a winger and probably a right back as well because Coleman's getting on now. So yeah.
Yeah, so you've beaten one of the best teams. I hate to say that, one of the best teams in England. So you're now playing one of the worst. What are you expecting from Everton versus West Brom? Of course, they just lost to Leicester 3-0. Are you expecting such kind of a result, or are you thinking it's going to be harder?
It would be like such a typical Everton thing to beat Tottenham and then lose to West Brom. Like it happens. We beat the teams that probably are above us and then we lose to the ones. But no, this season I think it'll be different just because of Ancelotti. I think in the past we've had mediocre managers that haven't known how to get the best out of our players. So I want us to get a really good goal difference. Leicester beat them 3-0. Why can't we? I'm hoping, yeah, 2-0, 3-0, keep another clean sheet and get Dominic Calvert-Lewin can maybe get a couple of goals. What about you guys? Obviously, beating Fulham was comprehensive, but you guys, I don't think you guys are really tested.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like signings and the next game, what are you guys thinking? What are you thinking?
Um, for against West Ham, it has to be a win. West Ham are going through too many problems, but that is a Saturday night game. I will come back to that. Sorry. So West Brom, as I've said, they played very poorly. Themselves,
Yeah.
they never tested Leicester at all. So I'm expecting you guys to win. What's your prediction for the game?
I'm going to go with 3-0. I'm going to be positive based on the last performance. So, yeah.
And what are your expectations for the season? Top 10, top 6?
Well, honestly, just responding to a comment on the live, honestly, I was thinking top 10, but now I think my expectations are changing, and I'm looking at, top 6, trying to break into it.
Yeah, I think you can get it. The way Richarlison played very well, but missed a lot of chances. But he was one of the better players on the pitch, so I think he'll win this game. But as you said, Everton are typical, just like Arsenal. So I'll go with Everton 2, West Brom 1.
Okay.
The next one is going to be both newly promoted teams, Leeds against Fulham. Well, Leeds played very well. What do you think about their performance?
I love the attitude that they went with. Obviously, they didn't get anything from the game, but I think, they were really exciting to watch. I'm not necessarily neutral, because obviously I don't want Liverpool to do well, but yeah, for like just a football fan watching, it was like end to end, loads of goals. So yeah, I think Leeds for me will win that one. Fulham, like you say, they didn't test you at all. They looked really toothless. To be honest, they haven't really invested in their squad, so I think they'll be straight back down personally. And yeah, I think Leeds will win. Yeah.
The way they played against Liverpool, do you think it's a good approach, like scoring a bunch of goals but conceding a lot? Because in the Premier League, if you score 4 and concede 5, you'll still get relegated. So would you wish they become a bit defensive too, Leeds?
Yeah, I think they can't. I think they were trying to make a statement going to Liverpool and doing that, but I think like you say, you can't do that every game because you will get punished. Like they got punished 4 times. So I mean, they might choose to, like just try and outscore the opposition. But I think with Fulham, I just don't see very much that they can hurt Leeds. I still think they'll win that one.
Yeah, Cookie says 3-0. I'm guessing you've seen that some comment saying Doucouré is an excellent signing. Is he your best signing, Doucouré, so far?
I think I'd have to just say James, just because of the excitement it caused. All 3 of them, to be honest, like they all offer very different things, but things that we've lacked a lot. So, like Doucouré is the presence, he's the ball winner. Allen is the same, he just gets in everybody's faces. Michael Keane, our centre back, said actually that Allen is the kind of player that he makes you look better because he protects you so much. Like the centre backs weren't exposed really at all against Tottenham. And so, yeah, I think they all, in their own way, will prove to be really good signings. But James is the one just because of how big he is. Yeah.
World Cup Golden Boot winner. Sam says Leeds 4-1. Everton Rose, that's her YouTube channel. You can go check out her content. She does very, very good stuff on Everton and stuff. A team that we are now expecting to finish in the top 6. Of course, in the previous seasons, we've seen you sign Richarlison, Sigurdsson, but still not quite perform well. By the way, where did Iwobi and Walcott go? You took those players from us and I've never seen them.
Sorry, just missed that. Where
did Iwobi and Walcott go? You took those players from us and I've never seen them.
I know, like with Iwobi, it's his finishing. Like he's decent on the ball. He's pacey, but he doesn't really know when to pass, and then also his finishing as well. Like I think he played about 25 times last season, no goals, no assists, and it's just for a forward player, you just can't. Like the end product isn't there. So yeah, we paid you guys 45 million or something like that, probably more for those 2, and it's just as squad players they're okay, but yeah, no, not starting for me.
It was a steal for us. I mean, it will be for 40 plus million. We robbed you guys, I'd say. We robbed you guys. The third game is going to be United's first game of the season against Crystal Palace. Last season, Crystal Palace actually got a victory away at Old Trafford. What do you think about the game? Are you expecting Man U to get more penalties just like last season? Or are you expecting them to do better this time around?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think it's a Man U win. Zaha's not happy. Wants to leave, even though they won their last game, didn't they? They beat Southampton, but No, I think United will have they'll have too much. I think their midfield has improved since then. Greenwood will be threatening. I see a United win there.
Sorry, I didn't get your prediction for Leeds and Fulham. What was your score prediction?
Oh, Leeds Fulham, 2-0 to Leeds, I think.
I think I'd go for 3-1. I think Mitrovic will play this time, unlike the Arsenal game, and he'll get a goal. How about Man U Palace?
I say actually 3-1. I think there's still question marks with United's defence, but I think they can just, like you say, get a penalty or just outscore them. So yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, you got a sub there. Congratulations. More of you people got there and sub to her.
Thanks, Sam.
Arsenal, Alex says that Iwobi was the best bit of business we did. Absolutely agree with that. It was a steal, but I think he'll do well for them this season, probably. And the next game is going to be our team, the new team that Aubameyang has signed for, Arsenal against West Ham. What are you expecting from this game? And there's a correct answer to this, by the way, Rose. There's a correct answer. Before the comment section gets at you.
It's an easy Arsenal win. Like you say, I think for me, West Ham are a team that are really in trouble, like in terms of relegation. They've got the oldest squad in the league. They, again, like all they have is Antonio. If Antonio doesn't score, that's it. So for me, I think an Arsenal win. You got 3 against Fulham. Why not 4 against West Ham? I mean, I think the Aubameyang boost, like all the other players will be settled knowing that his future's sorted out. So why not?
Yeah. Do you think West Ham will get relegated this season?
I think they're definitely one of the candidates. Yeah, I think they could just sneak into that 18th. Because Newcastle, like Newcastle aren't great, but for me, they've done some really smart business, and Newcastle just dominated that game. I watched that game, and yeah, they're in trouble.
Yeah, I never thought so because they have the likes of Yarmolenko and Felipe Anderson, but David Moyes for me is not really a good coach. I think that will also affect them. So prediction for that game?
So for Arsenal West Ham, I'd go 4-0. Why not? Willian also as well for you. Really, he does well against those sorts of teams. Yeah,
I'd love that. 4-0. That means top of the table for another week. I'd take that definitely. The next game is going to be this team. Both teams lost. Southampton lost to Palace. Tottenham lost to you guys. Did you like Tottenham's performance that day, or Everton just better?
I think a bit of both. I don't really like the kind of mainstream media narrative of Tottenham are really poor and Everton, it was an easy win. It wasn't that at all. I think that we just got into Tottenham's face from minute 1. For this one, I'd say Tottenham would still be the favourites for me, but I think it will probably be a draw. I don't know if it's Tottenham players or it's Mourinho. Like, I think that's a whole other debate. But to come out after the game and actually say that your players were lazy, like that's a pretty damning statement on the first week. And that's what it was. Our players pressed more. They fought more. They wanted it more, essentially. And that's not, it's not good for Tottenham fans. But yeah, I'd say probably a draw, maybe like 1-1 or something.
I'd say 2-2. I see goals in both. I think it's Mourinho. Mourinho, is there a time that you wanted Mourinho to join Everton? Anytime?
There was. When we were in like the relegation fight, I thought we need somebody who knows what he's doing. But I don't know if it's just that Mourinho's time is gone, as in the players now, they need more like, obviously they have massive egos. They've always had egos, but the way that he comes out and just slates a player, it can ruin a dressing room. And he's done it with like Ndombele. And yeah, I think his time as a coach probably was 10, 15 years ago. Like he did really well. Like with United, he clearly fell out with players fell out with him. The same could happen at Tottenham because they do have massive egos like Dele Alli and, players like that. So I don't see Tottenham doing well. Did they finish 8th last season or something? So 8th or 7th?
We finished 8th. I think they finished 6th.
Oh, 6th. Okay.
Yeah, something. Yeah, and they celebrated that final day victory. Just the kind of level they're in. Also in the chat box, let me know your predictions for the game. The next game, speaking of Newcastle, you've mentioned Newcastle a couple of times. They're going to play Brighton. Brighton lost to Chelsea last night. What are you expecting from this game? Another Newcastle win or a tighter one this time?
It will be, I think it'll be more difficult for Newcastle, but I think they'll win. I really like Callum Wilson. So basically, I'm from Coventry, and
yeah.
So so where he started his career. So like 10, maybe just less than 10 years ago, like I saw Callum Wilson and I thought, yeah, like some Championship Premier League team, he'll be all right. So I kind of have a soft spot now for Newcastle. And like just not him, but like Fraser as well from Bournemouth and Hendrick. They're just players that have played in the Premier League. And I think Newcastle like should be looking at a top 10 finish this season. I think they finished like 11th or 12th last season. So I think they should be higher this year. And I think I'll go for a Newcastle win. Just though, I think maybe like 2-1, something like that.
I think I'd go for I think they'll score goals because they have Wilson and Fraser and Almiron, all those players. So I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think 3-1. There's also this kid who played for Brighton called Lamptey. He was really good yesterday.
Yeah. So he's a Chelsea graduate. He going forward, like I saw a compilation of his play. Yeah, he's really good, and he will be a good outlet for Brighton until teams like start man marking him. But yeah, no, he was really good. He looks like a good prospect for the future.
Yeah, actually, the only game he played for Chelsea was against Arsenal, and they beat us last Boxing Day, so that was quite unfair. After that, he got sold. So he's turning out to be a very good player. Would you take him at Everton? Or do you really prefer the likes of Coleman, the experience?
I would, to be honest. I would have loved us to get him because I think Coleman's got one more year probably. But even we've got a young kid called John Joe Kenny, but I'm not really sold on him. But yeah, Lamptey looks really good.
Yeah, true. I agree. And the next game, the biggest game of this weekend, Chelsea against Liverpool. Are you like those people who are saying Chelsea are going to win the title because of the players they've bought, or are you like they need time to gel? Liverpool are still better, City is still better.
Yeah, probably the second. Chelsea have brought in so many good players, but as you say, they will need time. Like they didn't. I thought yesterday that they'd really, like I thought they would hammer Brighton, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Like so, they need. Yeah, they'll definitely need time to adjust. I think maybe next season and the season after that. But yeah, I kind of think that maybe Chelsea will finish third still because just the talent they've brought in really. But they'll have to up their game against Liverpool because like they can't play like that against them because they'll get punished.
Yeah.
Although saying that though, like with Liverpool's defense, the fact that Leeds could score 3 goals and just Van Dijk, maybe he's believing the hype a little bit, and he looks so casual, like trying to play the ball when you're facing your own goal for one of the Leeds. Like he made a massive mistake. So yeah, I think it's a difficult one for me to call. I don't necessarily like saying that Liverpool are going to win, but I think they will. I think they have too much to like, did they have that crazy 5-3 towards the end of last season? I think it'd be a really high scoring game.
True.
Maybe like another 4-3 or something to Liverpool probably.
I forgot about that 5-3 game last season. It was a very good game. And Sam says both teams didn't look good. 0-0. Can you see a 0-0 here? No goal for Salah, no goal for Werner.
They'll just give them a penalty, like if that happens. So no, like I think, I can't see it being goalless.
It seems like every other team gets penalties apart from us. I don't also think Everton have not really gotten a lot of penalties recently.
I think we got one last season, but also in our in defense of that, we don't attack the box. Well, we did on Sunday, sorry, but we don't. We just cross it in, and then you're never going to get a penalty just doing that. So we need to be more direct. Like you always see with Mane and Salah, they're always in the box. They're always there to be fouled. But with us, we don't tend to do that. So hopefully this season we can get one.
Very, very good point that you've made. And then the next one is going to be Leicester against Burnley. Leicester got a 3-0 victory, just 2 penalties to another team that has gotten a lot of penalties. And Burnley didn't play in the first weekend. What are you expecting from this game? Another Vardy masterclass?
Yeah, Leicester win. I don't really know how he's still doing it at that age, but yeah. Leicester win. I just think they've got far too much for Burnley. I think Burnley, though, will be really organised. Like Sean Dyche's done a fantastic job there, but they just don't score enough for me, Burnley. Like they can keep a clean sheet, but they'll win like 1-0, 2-1. Like they don't ever outscore. And I think Leicester will have too much. In terms of a score, maybe like a 2-1. It'll definitely be harder than West Brom. So yeah, maybe like a 2-1 or a 3-1. Yeah.
I think this one I'm going to go for a 1-1. As you said, Burnley are really solid. They can just score a goal and just defend for 90 minutes, home or away. They don't really care. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. You've gone for Leicester win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, thank you for bringing up FPL before we get into the last 2 games of this weekend. In case you want to join my FPL league, it's still open until when before game week 2 starts. So you can just click on the link in the description, or you can use the code on screen right now to join the league. I don't know what position I am right now, but hey, if you play FPL, you can join. Rose, do you play FPL or do you think it's too stressful?
No, I've got a league as well, actually. Feel free to join. I mean, if you go to my social media, it'll be on there. So I have a thing though. I don't ever put in any Liverpool players. I feel like I can't cheer. I don't know how you are with Tottenham, but so literally people in my league had Salah as captain, so I'm probably like 40th or something. So yeah.
I always usually try not to put them in, but you see Kane scoring a hat-trick and you're like, no, I need to get him on for the next game. And speaking of the next game, on Monday, Aston Villa against Sheffield United. Now, last season, this game, Aston Villa were lucky not to lose it. They would have been relegated if they lost this game. What happened? Hawkeye didn't work on that day. Sheffield scored a goal, and the goal line technology didn't work. You remember that game clearly, I'm sure, Rose?
Yeah. I think personally this season, Sheffield United are going to struggle more than they did last season. If you look at teams like not even Leicester, but like even a Newcastle or somebody, I think they've strengthened, and Sheffield United kind of majority kept the same squad, and they're probably going to get found out a little bit this season. So I don't think they'll be as good as they were last season, and I think I'm going for a draw for this game because obviously Villa didn't play. They'll probably be quite slow. So I've gone for a draw just because as well, I think Grealish has announced a new contract with Aston Villa, so they'll be on a bit of a high as well. So yeah, maybe 2-2.
Yeah, well, Rose has brought up some very, very good news like Grealish and all that. So that's why you should follow her channel. She has all the information that I've forgotten about already. So make sure you subscribe to her. I think I also agree with you in terms of Sheffield United not having a good season this time around. I think they're going to struggle, maybe 14th for them. And here I'm going to go for a draw, maybe 1-1 in this one. And then there'll be one game remaining for this weekend. On Monday, City against Wolves. What are you thinking about this game? That's City's first game of the season. Wolves, very good victory away to Sheffield.
Yeah, I think it's a really hard opening game. Away at Wolves, like they're such a good side. I mean, I was looking really enviously at Wolves last season. They beat us 3-0 like comprehensively towards the end of last season. They've just got good players everywhere. I think City have to come back stronger than they did last season. I am going to go for a City win, but it could go either way. I think probably they'll just scrape through because, as I say, Wolves on the break definitely have players who can hurt them. Maybe even go something like a 3-2 or a 3-1, just because I don't think Man City are going to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah,
maybe 3-2 to Man City. It'll be close.
Last season, they actually did a double over City, home and away.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they beat them, I think, 2-0 at the Etihad and 3-2 at Molineux.
Yeah.
So they're a very tough team, but they've sold players. So will that affect them, the likes of Doherty?
Yeah, I think he was a real outlet. I'll be honest, he didn't look fit against us. I was really scared that he was going to hurt us. He had a couple of chances, but he just, he didn't look fit. And I think he even just didn't look like the same player for Wolves. For Spurs than he was for Wolves. So I think it's a loss for them, but they won their opening game, so they'll probably still be fine.
Yeah, I'll go for City win. City are too good, especially the likes of Ake now joining. I'm going to go for a big score, 4-2 or something, 4-2 City win. So those are the predictions. Yeah, so those are the predictions for this week. I have, I think, 4 or 5 questions, quick questions for Rose. The first one is, apart from the Everton game, of course, which other game are you looking forward to most this weekend?
The one we just spoke about, I think, Wolves, Man City. I think it'll be a really competitive game. It'd be good to see if Man City come back fighting as well. That one.
The next one is, which game do you think will have the most goals this weekend?
I'm going to actually go Chelsea-Liverpool, I think.
Both defenses. A lot of goals.
Yeah, the defense is a bit shaky.
I think I'd go for the same game, Chelsea-Liverpool. But also, I think a game like Aston Villa-Sheffield can surprise us, but it could also be boring. 3 players that will definitely score this weekend. Any team, 3 players will definitely score this weekend.
I think Greenwood for United. I think Vardy for Leicester, and I'm going to say James for Everton, just because.
First goal for Everton. You guys will be buzzing, of course. I don't know when we are playing you guys, but I'm not looking forward to that game because of that attack of yours. The next question is player of the week. Who do you think will be the player of the week?
I actually am going to say Willian, because there were a lot of people not criticizing, but just saying, oh, I saw this, you're taking him to the Chelsea reject and he's 31 and that, and I know it's only Fulham. I know that they're not the strongest team by a long way.
Yeah.
But just the impact he had, he took the focus away from Aubameyang and Lacazette and all of those players. He was from the minutes he played, he was just fantastic. So I'm going to actually go with Willian.
Awesome. I think I'd go for. It's a tough one, but I think I'd go for Vardy again. I think he'll just get a bunch of goals again. And maybe for you guys, Richarlison again, maybe to score a couple of goals this time around and not miss them. Do you think he should have scored that chance he had in the first half?
Definitely. But either score, get it on target, or there was, Calvert-Lewin was right there. If he just cut it back, he would have had an open goal. So, yeah. I mean.
Yeah, and finally, which 3 teams will be relegated?
Fulham will be bottom, and then I think West Brom. They look really poor, and West Ham for me.
Oh wow! And that top 6?
I might not do it in order, but I think Man City, Liverpool, then I think Chelsea. Sorry, I actually think Man United will get 4th, then Arsenal. I don't want to say it too early, but I'm hoping that maybe Everton could be 6th. Probably more realistic. Yeah. Spurs will have it over the long run. We could be 7th, but I think some of those could change. I think Arsenal, Spurs, Everton, that'll be actually quite close this season, which we haven't seen for a long time. So we'll see.
You definitely don't want Liverpool to win another title, though.
No, Definitely not.
Definitely not. I think you guys will come ahead of Tottenham. I don't think they have that squad, and Mourinho is too much these days. He has lost the touch. So yeah. So those are the predictions for the match week 2. 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday, 2 games on Monday. I like the new format of there's no game kicking off at the same time with another one. You can now literally watch 10 games over the weekend. So it's good for us football fans. And I've been here with Rose. Shout out your channel again so they can subscribe
okay,
to you.
yes, it's at Everton Rose on YouTube, and then you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Everton Rose YT.
Awesome. Of course, you can follow me on IG, the 49 Invincibles, Glenn Kitely on Twitter. Aubameyang has signed a new contract. You're buzzing. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with the Fantasy Premier League show with a couple of more guests. Thanks to Rose for coming on. Thanks for watching. Keep staying safe.